What is going on, you beautiful people? Digits here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Today we're going to be examining a lively, wild, live league match between two strong players. This time we're going to be examining a mixed base map with 4 bases per side because we're going to be pumping out units left, right, and center. Now this map is aptly named Clown Car because it's a bunch of action pushed together in a small space. It's a small map, but you got 8 bases total, so there's a lot of action going on. What also is notable about this map, you have a safe comm tower. Javier's, he's loving it. You also have a pretty safe HQ between 2 bases over here, so this is one of my low-key favorite matchups in mixed base. Javier versus Sami, because Von Bolt is always banned, so Javier usually picks up the reins as the best day-to-day CO. He's got the best defense and the best of the whole tier, basically. So, why is Javier better on this map than other maps? So, in typical matchups, like, let's say, Caustic Finale, I tend to lean towards Sami because the comm tower is a little more contested and they're close by to the other bases. This one is an 100% safe comm tower. As Javier, you 99% of the time you'll be not losing this comm tower, so it's very safe, which makes him better on this map than, say, Caustic Finale. Point number 2, I don't see very many mountains. You got one little nub over here, a nub over there, and then some in the middle, but we're going to be placing those mechs, and there's not many rivers to cross, like in Caustic Finale there, so Sami's not quite as good. So it's starting to trend closer together, because Javier, I would say, is not as good as Sami on normal Caustic Finale. Then you also have the map Don't Drink the Water, which is a whole nother thing together, and there's airports on this map. There's no airports on this map, which is probably a net benefit for Sami, to be perfectly honest, because Javier's copters are just better than hers. So, how does Sami beat Javier when his units are better than hers, and he has a safe comm tower, and the HQ is safe? Well, I chose this game because I think Tethy's played a very strong Sami, and I want to show you guys how to play Sami when you're facing off against a CO who in most aspects will win an all-out battle. You need to play craftily, you need to be thinking ahead, and you gotta do some baboonian things sometimes. So, anyway, these guys are both like 1100 in live league, probably like 1400 in normal global league standard. They're strong players. And then, without further ado, let's begin the match. So, in the green beans, we have unknown Chinese name that doesn't translate onto this program. And in the top and the bottom, we got Tethy's, the Samster herself. So, go for the bases first. You always go for the bases first. Don't even play around and pretend like you're capping a property. Get the bases. You want to pump out as many units as possible. It's 4 base, for God's sake. So, Javier doesn't even need to worry about rushing at his own leisure. His leisure. That's how the rich people say it. At his own leisure. He can capture that comm tower. And then later on, he can just put him infantry or a mech or an APC. Look, Sami's not capturing that comm tower. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's not captured. I've never seen her capture the other person's comm tower on this map. So, how will Sami deal with this issue? She has to get income. Javier wisely builds a recon. Recons are better on mixed base because you have less money. One thing I forgot to mention, 20k per side, all things equal, so on the lower medium end of income, which is a boon for Sami. She likes lower income, so that's one good thing for her. But how will she use her income advantage? How will she get her income advantage? Looks like she's going to the middle earlier. Actually, no. They're going pretty equal, but we got a first little freaky reeky going in the middle of here. Not going over the side over here because look, this base is 1, 2, 3. You're not stopping that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could prevent these properties with this freaky reeky, but the reeky is looking to maneuver to the center, trying to interrupt this cap right here, but easily stopped with a tank. So Tethys is going for it. I'm assuming going to build a tank to defend right there. Still no battles so far, and looks like finally have the first comm tower capping. And I was looking at this earlier. This is not Javier's. This is Javier's. So Javier can't be too leisurely about it, or else there'll be an interrupt here, and then you're going to have to start combining units, and it's not fun. So he got it out at the right time. Anyway, so what will the Riki do now that this tank is here? I also liked how this Chinese player played. He played a great game as well. Both of them played very well. I was very impressed. For a live league game of all things as well. So, shifts the recon over here. Oh, I thought he was going to commit. A lot of people, they build the recon. I was going to do this, and that's all it will do. No. Bring the recon over here. You're not stopping this cap. Maybe you can stop like these two, but you're not stopping that cap. Builds a tank over there. Looks like Javier's focusing on the peripheral, on the corners, as you should. This is a double interrupt right here. Will Javier go for it, or will we go for the safe cap? TBD goes for the interrupt over here. Now, if you're Javier, would you attack this, attack that, and kill off the infantry? Or would you just capture this and run away? Let's see what he does. Recon, smartly, doesn't even go here and then try to double kill the infantry. Just blocks it straight up. Not a bad move. Ops to cap here. Okay, I would have retreated. I would have retreated this, and then you have that to attack, etc. So, okay, we differ right there. I would have liked that, but there is a tank. So if you do interrupt here, the tank will smash you from this forest. Okay, that's not so bad after all, because he didn't shift the tank up here after all, because this tank shifted over here. There's a lot of mechanisms going on, folks. But all he has is a Riki over here. There's no vehicles to stop that Riki. That Riki is having a field day, and will continue to do so. And this tank, see, it's such an easy reinforced map that also works in Javier's favor. Where can Sami really dig in? She's having some issues, probably. Gets in the mountain over here, because why not? We like the mountain nubs. Ooh, killed it. Even with the comp tower, there must have been a roll, but, you know, don't complain about those rolls. Goes for the port right here. Notably, this port is within base range. I do not think that's going to be captured, or if it is captured, I do not think it's going to be held. But you never know. The Freaky Riki did its job, guaranteeing black or green this property over here. Very nice. So far, pretty normal stuff. We have minimal fights going on. Pretty damn equal income, though. There's not really that much of a difference in income. Sami has not been able to capitalize on her capture effectiveness to get any extra income. So, seemingly giving up this corner in return for getting this corner, though. So, it looks like they're going to be dead equal. Probably around 20k each side. So, what is the end game here for Sami? Javier, you're just going to keep brawling and brawling. That should be a 2-shot right there. Unfortunately, this is not one. Oop, it was not one closer where he could have just attacked, and then captured one space further away. So couldn't capture this turn and guarantee it. Tanks coming in. Looks like we're doing for the pincher strike over here. 2 tanks in the top, tank at the bottom. Probably going to build another tank right here as well. And try to surround green over here. Try to go for the comm tower, maybe? Ambitious. Builds an artillery. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Javier's got a bonus against artillery. He's got 20% bonus against indirects. That stacks with his comm tower, so it's 30%. And that's on a road. Then it's 40% on the plain, 50% on a forest, 60% on a city. And then you use your power. And then you're invincible on the city. You're invincible in the forest, if I recall correctly. And you're god near invincible everywhere else as well. So, a little dubious to be building that artillery. So we'll see how that works for him. But so far, I'm actually liking green's position better. I think green has got this pretty well figured out. I don't know. This was capturing, yeah, so okay. Didn't show it for a second, but build a tank over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can only attack it once right here. You have to, 1, 2, yeah, you can only attack this tank once on this side, and you can only attack this tank once. Probably gonna, all right, interesting. Block right here, block right there. Very strong defense by green. And green has a power spike earlier than Sami, by the way. Javier, you have your superpower, or your normal power 3, you have your superpower at 6. So you can probably get off 2 normal powers before Sami can even use her victory march. Unless Sami opts to instead be going for her double time. If she can see, for example, let's say, she had a double time here, she could cap that, put an infantry there, like a line of infantry, you would not be able to stop the cap on that comm tower. Actually, that's diabolical. Infantry here, caps with double time. Infantry here goes there, infantry there goes there. Put a tank, just a Congo line. You will have no one-hit KOs. That's a guaranteed. Ooh, DD, you shouldn't have. Recon isn't really doing that much on paper. But the threat pushed him out of the corner. And the threat's going to push these boys back as well. That Recon has a lot of soft power. A lot of soft power for that Riki. So it's lucky Sami didn't have a double time there, or else she probably just wins. Although if she does capture this, she has to hold it as well. So it's not completely over. But it would be very difficult to come back. So, What can Tethys do? Boonga, Bangla, Dash. Getting some free infantry kills. Just mopping them up. Mopping up the schlop, as we call it. Mopping up that schlop. Some vehicle hits over here. Riki opts to go on the HQ, I guess fearing maybe a cop or something. But these are just better tanks. They're 10-10. These tanks are just 100. 100-100 versus 10-10. 100-100 versus 110-110. Soon to be 130-130. So how are you gonna beat these in the brawl? Because we got what? 6 tanks in an artillery for 7 tanks in the recon. Sami cannot win this, and Sami has not got an income lead. So how can Sami win if she doesn't have an income lead and her tanks and vehicles are weaker? Well, she has to get an income lead somehow, or at least some sort of threat. And it looks right now there's not that much of a threat. Especially with that artillery buy, I didn't really like that. But Sami's going in. The mechs, you gotta utilize the mechs. This is how I would do it. Get a mech or a transport, start spamming mechs. With that extra money, medium tanks, neo tanks. That's what I would do personally. Mechs can be pretty scary. They hit harder than her tanks. Don't forget, Sami mechs are stronger than her tanks. So if you build those mechies, you get those techies with their neo tanks, you're looking pretty good. So that's what I would do. It looks like Tethys read my mind. Builds the first medium tank. Builds the first teched up unit of the match. And it looks like... No, she's not going to get that. I'm assuming Tethys is a she for some reason or another. But look at these brawls are just going to be favoring Mr. Chinese Man, as he's affectionately known to his family. So, how are you going to break through that? It's 18k to 18k. I don't see any compensation. This is not looking too great for Sami so far. But maybe she has some ideas. That's actually a pretty good roll right there. And you got the big beefy medium tank coming in. Boom, bang. This is a pretty good trade. And then you can't fight back because you got the big beef boy right there. Pretty scary. Pretty good move. That's how you get ahead, or how you get a distinct advantage. Good tech up right there. It's only day 11. You already have a medium tank. Love it. Love it. This is going to do absolutely 0 when it uses a power, but I like the attempt. So what are we going to see here? Double tanks, infantry. Okay. It's looking all right, but I'm expecting a cop from JAVIER either this turn or the next. And it looks like he's about to take over the corner over here. Uh-oh. Oops-a-doodlies. Tower shield comes in. All right. This can be bad. They're invincible to this now. Keep that in mind. Invincible. Don't even care. This does 0. Combines, that's pretty much guaranteed cap right now. Even with the threat of a medium tank. Don't even care. Can't reach the full HP tank, can only reach these slops that did some damage. Artillery to counter the medium tank. Alright, fair enough. What can Sami do? Kills off an infantry. Kills a tank. Kills off one of those tanks. JAVIER needs to build a... ooh. See, that's the power of the tower shield. Sami mech can't even murder that thing. And look at this. The artillery doesn't even bother firing. You know why it doesn't bother firing? Because that's not going to do a single damage. Ouchie. Techs up to another medium tank. Medium tank at the top, medium tank at the bottom. Medium tank sandwich. A meatball medium tank marinara sandwich. Although not as gross as the Subway version. And a Victor March is coming soon. So here's where Sami can get ahead. Snag this property, snag that property, snag this property, snag that property. Getting herself a feisty, maybe some minimum 4k income. But at the same time, unit count and unit value are not looking too great for her. So she's going to need that income lead. Because if you look at her units, they're not doing quite as hot. And Chinese Man is about to get this cap over here. And these two are looking pretty safe for him as well. What will Tethys do? It's day 13. Time is ticking. And now all Green has to do is sit on this property, guard the comm tower, weather a victory march, and then probably just hold and win. The onus is completely on Sami now. How will Tethys react to this? Not rushing a victory march this turn, wise move. I don't think there was... You could have captured 1 property there, 2 properties, 3 properties, 4. Actually, you could have gotten 4 properties this turn. 4 properties is not a bad victory march. I'm a little surprised you didn't actually pop it. 4 properties is nothing to sneeze at. Seems like Tethys has bigger and better plans. Maybe move this. It's gonna take 2 more turns to get in position to even capture that, but then you just put a unit on top. Interesting moves by Tethys. Seems to really be focusing on this area over here. Looks like, so earlier on, a few turns ago, we had the sandwich approach by Tethys. And now it looks like Tethys is now looking to do her sandwich over here. Him or her or them or whatever. The sandwich has changed. With the meatballs. But Javier now has an income advantage for Sami. The unthinkable has happened. And this assault over here... Meanwhile, these guys are running towards this HQ side. There's 5 tanks over here without an answer. These infantry are going to get gobbled up like a Thanksgiving dinner. They're going to get gobbled up like turkeys. He's lucky he's not even able to like block a base right now. It's getting pretty dire over there. And how are you going to get an HQ, Cap? If I'm assuming that's Tethys' attempt. That has extra defense. And then there's another one. Yeah, all Chinese man has to... I hope I'm not being offensive, but that's what his name is now. All green has to do is basically hold this. He can lose these as long as he wins over here, and it looks like he is. So he just needs to hold, basically. And it looks like Tethys is completely giving up over here as well. So all in baboon offensive. I mean, best of luck to Tethys, but medium tank plus medium tank on this HQ knocks that down to like 3, maybe 4. This only has 100% firepower with the comm tower. It knocks it down to 4. Okay? It's not going to be nearly enough. And then Tethys can probably just keep spamming medium tanks. Medium tank here, medium tank. Like, what is Tethys' end goal here? Builds a medium tank over here. So finally fighting back. Not going completely all out over here, it seems. Combines a tank. Getting in position. You love the 1 HP infantries as Sami because it doesn't matter what HP they have. If they're alive and use Victory March, they cap. But Tethys ends the turn. Behind on income, behind on unit count. Not very much, what, 2,000 ahead basically on unit value? Oof. It looks like it's going to get worse. Cap. Cap. Oh god. This is just a carnival cruise line of a carnival, and then that maybe this could even capture the HQ. Forget this whole HQ cap. I mean, this is looking pretty dire. Tethys needs to make something happen quick. This is not going to even reach there. Attacks the tank. Medium tank. Oh, yeah. Good luck breaking through this. Like, knock that down to 5. I don't know. I guess you're fighting into this, just weakening some units. Could use Tower Shield even at this point anyway. I was supposed to use I don't know why he didn't use Tower Shield right now, but could use Tower Shield just to hold off another turn of victory marches. Put this here, put this there. You don't want to put the medium tank. Actually, what you could have done is move one medium tank up there and kept one on the HQ and put like a tank there or something and still going to be fine. But this is like a fortress. This is a fortress. And looks like freaking Chinese man is running away with it. Blocking the property, smart move. Giving up this property is fine if there's a victory march. Giving up 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5 if you can capture that. Yeah, that's it. Even if you get those, then you're ahead for like 1K maybe? Alright, Tethys, this is where dreams are made of. Basically, it's an all or nothing. Alright, trying to get that income advantage, huh? Oh. It's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those, isn't it? Look at all this schlop. In fact, this wasn't even schlop before. Now it's schlop. Victory March. Bonk. 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 Oh. I don't know what that's about. Bonk. Bonk. Well, good game. So, a few things happened here. Number one, he gave Sami some schlop to work with. If there was only these 2 sacks, not gonna KO that. Another thing, if you use the power here, not happening. Last but not least, this is not even remotely guaranteed. I calculated it myself in depth. 64% chance of a 6-hit KO. Sack, 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 or attack, attack. 64% chance. Not even 2/3 chance. So this is an all out. If this does not work, Tethys loses. This is about as all out as it gets, folks. So, I was just impressed by this. I've done my own sacks before. I've never seen a 6-hit KO. I think in my game I did against Shiyu, I had like a 4-hit or 5-hit KO. I think this is a new record. Especially for an HQ cap, epic. 64% chance though, so it was not a given. But that, my friends, is how you win as Sami versus JAVIER. You have to be cunning, you have to be crafty, you have to utilize sacks that your opponent might not even see. And then you get them when they think they're the safest. When they got a whole bunch of 3 medium tanks, they're sitting on the HQ, they got an artillery, it looks in like an impenetrable defense. And then you trick them. And then you win. Because, let's be honest, if he doesn't make it here, this is going bye-bye. There's no hope. He's about to lose this base over here. Chinese man is going to win. So, bravo by Tethys for finding that. This is a lively game. Tethys had 2 minutes. 2 minutes! And found this. I'm impressed. A few things I would have done, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can't bring this 1 HP tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'd sack this 1 HP infantry. I'd sack this 1 HP infantry. You know, I just put as many sacks as possible. I sack this 3 HP infantry. They'll probably do another 1 or 2%. So, there's a few more sacks I would have done to probably knock it from a 64% to maybe like a 75% chance. And that's not nothing. That's a pretty big deal. 3/4 is a lot better than 64%. But all the same, still favorable odds for Tethys. Impressively played. A few things I would have done differently is not build an artillery. That literally did nothing the entirety of the game. I like the mech build. I like the tech ups. I think that was a really good move. Yeah, I think I don't have that many notes. Like I think both players played very well. It was just it was a tricky kind of ending right there. So anyway, hope you guys were entertained. I certainly was. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.